Kiki, would you come up here and help? Kiki, yeah, you. You are, because our 4 county council representative candidates all wanted to talk last. We are drawing names out of a hat to give us an order in which they will speak tonight. So Kiki, come ahead and draw. Who's first?
Daniel Rumfelt, come on down.
So I guess that's called luck of the draw, right? So we're the opening act for the fair, I see, because I see the fair is supposed to be here tomorrow. So I guess we're just getting everything set up for them. But a little bit about me. My name is Daniel Rumfelt, and I am running for Greenville County Council, District 26. And I'm a resident here. I grew up here. I raised a family here. I'm really connected to Greenville County here, and I'm going to ask you all a question. I want you to think about it. What is the number one reason you stay in Greenville? What do you like about Greenville County so much that you like to stay here? Is it the people? Is it the climate? It's a nice day today. Is it the climate? Is it our services that we provide? What is it? And I'll answer that question for me. It's actually the people. The people in this county are very resilient and neighborly. They help one another, and that was on display when Hurricane Helene came through. You've seen neighbors reaching out to neighbors, lending tools, and running out of state to get generators and water and stuff like that. It was really good to see us come together as a community, and that's why I'm going to run, because I want to help my neighbors. I want to help in issues that folks are not looking at. We have some codes that really need to be reformed. We're really not helping our small businesses in Greenville County. We need philos to bring in jobs. We need companies coming in to pay for our services. We want them to pay, and we want lower taxes for everybody. So that's what a philo is. But what does a small business owner get? What have you noticed? If you drive around, you see more coffee shops. You don't see any bakeries, because there's a loophole in there. Because if someone wanted to open up a bakery, you have to have a grease trap in the back. But if you go around and sell coffee, you don't have to have that. But what about a gym? If you want to open up a gym, you got to have AC when they don't want AC as a CrossFit. So there is a lot of issues facing Greenville County with small business that we've got to address with our codes. And code enforcement, we need to look at code enforcement and why is the director, which everyone knows who's over code enforcement, is the county administrator. Why are we not enforcing codes? What's going on there? And a little bit about me. I'm like I said, I'm running for the common man here. And when it comes to the urban sprawl, we've seen it come further down south, down to Fountain Inn and Simpsonville, and the sprawl. We have a housing crisis. And sprawl seems the way we're going, but we actually can change that. Have you guys noticed these new developments coming to town? They all have cul-de-sacs in them. They're not connected. That's kind of, from a traffic standpoint, that's not the correct way to be developing our neighborhoods. I'm huge on multi-use development because I don't feel like we should drive across town to a grocery store. Why not end up walking or riding a bike to a grocery store in a neighborhood or a small business in a neighborhood? There's a lot that needs to be addressed, and and I'm the kind of guy that doesn't believe in solving one problem and creating 3 others. I know that. What do you mean, Danny? What are you talking about? Like earlier last year, we reallocated philo. We took money away from 2 other entities, public schools and SPDs. Now, whatever the narrative is going on about not taking money away from schools, all you have to go is read. Schools didn't raise the millage this year because, thanks to President Trump, the border was closed and they didn't see an influx of migrant kids up into our area. So they have extra funds. Outside of that, our SPDs, when a new big industry comes to the area, we lose money because we're going to fix a hole somewhere up in Tigerville somewhere. But the definition of philo, in my definition, is that when a business comes to a community, that money should stay in that community, fixing the roads, fixing the fire departments, fixing schools. To Isuzu's not even come online yet. We don't know how much money that local SPD is going to lose, and that's creating more problems. Another thing, I'm a guy in truth, and when I see fabrications or whatever online from our leadership, typically I don't call it out, but if the narrative keeps getting pushed, I'm going to say something. I'm going to give you an example. We have to have good relationships with our governing bodies. Whether it be in Columbia or on municipalities, we've got to have good relationships. There's already enough misinformation going around that we need to stop it, and we don't need any more help from leadership to end up making it worse. When this whole reform, the DOT Act came out, there was a resolution that came out that mentioned the word mandatory. But if you go and actually read what the bill actually says, is consent of counties if they want the roads. That's a huge difference. For me, I feel like we need to have leadership that actually knows the difference between what a requirement is and what a consent is. And I'm just a one-on-one guy. I don't believe in letting ChatGPT write resolutions. I didn't vote for a robot. I voted for a human that actually takes the time to study our codes and study our ordinances, and that's what I've done. And we also got an issue with revenue here. Greenville County, for some reason, is one of probably 2 or 3 counties that does not have but one revenue source, and that's property taxes. I don't know about you, but my utility bills are going up for power. Water's going up. Everything's going up, but there's no additional revenue coming in to pay for our services. Lawrence County, Anderson County, everybody else is looking for ideas, but we need to have additional revenue, and there is options the state gives us to cut property taxes, real options, not $2 or $3, real options to cut property taxes and move to a fair tax system where you have your renters in here, you have people putting their children in schools that are not contributing at all to society around here. We got to be fair, guys. It can't just be on my back and your back that actually lends a hand in the services that we provide. And that's me. I'm more of a common sense. I want things better here. I want to see development stay where development can, sustain itself. I want to see a fishing hole every so often in the southern part of the county. I want to protect what we have in conservation. And there's so much aggravation going on. Everybody has their own plan, which direction to go. But there is no vision, folks. If you notice, there is no vision on going forward. We've got one that wants to go to impact fees. One wants to go to concurrency. There's a new concurrency bill circulating that's actually really would help counties now, not based on the one earlier in the year. So we're moving in the direction, but we have no vision. We have no direction on development. So, but anyhow, that's just a little bit about me. I'm getting to wrap up. So if y'all have any questions, like I said, I can go on. But,
You have questions for Daniel right now? Anybody want to ask?
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
I understand that you're looking for growth in this county, is that correct?
Smart growth.
Yeah.
Smart growth, yes.
Smart growth, okay. Let me ask you this, what are you gonna do about the roads? We got no place, I live off Woodruff Road. You put one more car on Woodruff Road, you don't have a parking lot. It's pitiful. And I know that you don't have everything that you can do about roads. I'll tell you what, before you bring in one more business, hire one more person, bring in anybody else, fix these darn roads.
Absolutely, and I agree. Do you think it's smart to bring more business to that area?
I don't think it's smart to bring more business in until you've got somewhere that people can drive to get to it.
Well, I agree, absolutely. So
Okay, well then why you want to bring in more businesses here?
Because how many businesses and jobs do you think we lose in each month in Greenville County?
I have no idea, but it can't be that. I live here. I've been here for a while.
Right.
I don't see them going away.
Right. Well, the thing is, as any any growing community and a sustainable community, we have to breathe in and we always breathe out. There's got to be a cycle of jobs and wages got to increase. And when you come to that, when it comes to the road issue, why should you and me be the only ones that has to fix the roads? County roads, we can't do anything about state roads. Why should me and you be the only ones responsible for actually expanding and widening the roads? You shouldn't be me and you. How many people do you think you're setting on Woodruff Road actually lives in Greenville County? I mean, it could be thousands, hundreds of, a year it could be hundreds of thousands. Those folks are using my road and your road, and they're not contributing to it. You see what I'm saying? Greenville is the epicenter of the upstate where everyone comes to shop, to work, and to play. How is that fair to me and you if we're the only ones contributing to the roads?
Well, the fact is, we can't do anything more with what we've got.
Well,
Until somebody either widens the roads, fixes the roads, makes new roads, somehow, we don't need more people coming moving into this area until that's done. And also, when you do a FELA, and you bring in a new business and you give them a tax break, and you're giving these people a tax break to come in, and all the people that have built their businesses here over the last, maybe worked their entire life for that business, do they get that tax break? No.
Well, I will tell you that I am for fair tax and low tax for everybody. South Carolina has the highest tax rate in the Southeast for businesses, big businesses like that, with 10.5%. I want to cut taxes, and that's what a FELO is. Do you want those companies to pay for your public service? Do you want those companies to bring jobs to help your kids or your family or friends to have wages, competitive wages? Like I said earlier, Greenville is a focal point. And we got to wake up and realize that, and we got to adjust our standing and our governing on that to at least survive what part of Greenville we have.
Okay, we got time. So, thank you.
Oh, thank you.